last week, I've been working on a video for a client. I'd say I've pretty much spent most of my waking hours and quite possibly some of my non-waking hours thinking about filming and the concept and all the ideas and getting it done. And I've gone way beyond the budget and the concept that we agreed. I know some people use the word OCD. I've got a friend who's got proper OCD and I don't think it's the right word to use. I definitely consider myself to be obsessed or at the very least consumed by stuff that I do. These videos on this channel, for example, these weekly ones that I'm doing, it started off 18 months ago with me just with my iPhone making short little videos, and then 18 months later I'm using tens of thousands of pounds worth of cameras and lenses to shoot videos for major record labels for a little start-up video project company. Can't seem to moderate anything that I do. You see, I have a track history of turning hobbies into businesses, whether it's playing music, whether it's running a recording studio, journalism, writing books, making videos, triathlon coaching and racing, all that kind of stuff. I just can't seem to keep it as a simple hobby or keep it simple and straightforward. I've got no moderation at all. And I've mentioned this before, but I do tend to do unusual things, but I'm always seem to be average at doing them. I don't do run-of-the-mill things. I do slightly unusual things, but I'm just not generally very good at them. I don't really have a problem with that. One of the things I've noticed over the years is that I tend to focus on two main areas in my life. One is the kind of physical stuff, and one is the kind of creative stuff. And when I tend to focus on one, the other seems to suffer. A case in point being this Thursday, for example, when I did 11.5 hours of lecturing at uni, which by the way falls under the creative camp, I still managed to squeeze in 2 hours of shooting B-roll for this video into such a long day. So as a result, guess how many hours of training I've done this week? Absolutely none at all.
See you tomorrow. Cheerio. Right. Cheers, Louis. See you later.
See, most people seem to be able to fit in what they've got to do during their working week without too much trouble. But for some unknown reason, I just can't seem to be able to do that. And yet I seem to be able to see my friends being able to manage that stuff, being able to moderate what they're doing. I just don't seem to be capable of being able to do that. And whilst I'd like to, perhaps it just isn't part of my makeup to actually be able to do it at all. It is me, it just is who I am, it's how I operate. It always has been. I've never been any different ever since I was a kid. It's all or nothing, as I say. I struggle to balance the creative stuff with the kind of physical stuff of being able to train, being able to eat properly. I guess what I'm trying to say is that if we're going to try and sort this out, you kind of need to know what's going on in it. I'm going to link to a video below by Colin McCourt, who's a runner. He used to be an elite runner, but he's been making videos for the last couple of years. That was a big influence on me starting this channel anyway. He started to spend a bit of time looking at his own mental health, and I think the journey that he's on is a really important one. I would highly recommend checking out his videos. To me, one of the most important parts of having a better head is understanding the one that you've got now and how it works. There are always people in our lives that we're kind of jealous of how they go about stuff. I know that the people that I'd love to be like in my club, for example, that are GB athletes that are incredible. They've trained consistently, they're focused, they're absolutely 100% focused on what their goal is. I'd love to be like them. I would genuinely love to be in a position that they're in, where they've had that ability to focus on something so consistently. And I'm genuinely jealous of their ability to do that. It actually winds me up at times that I can't do that. But they don't do things how I do things, and I don't do things how they do things. So would I change anything? Well, when they're running sub 40 for 10k at the end of an Olympic race on race day, yeah, of course I would. I'd love to be able to do what they do. But day to day, I'm not so sure I would. You see, I've managed to achieve quite a lot of stuff. It's just, the grass always seems to be greener on the other side, doesn't it? It's just when things get to that extreme, when I become completely consumed by something, everything else goes out the window. Perhaps I just need to be a little bit more mindful when that happens. These videos, when they're focused on training and all the things that go into that, it covers most of the bases that I want. But sometimes, just every now and then, something creeps in and gets in the way. So I know that for the next couple of months, I've got this focus back where I can work on the training videos that I've been putting up, the videos about time trialing, all of that stuff. I know that I've got a clear window of opportunity to be able to do those. And I've got to maximise my opportunity of being able to tally up both the creative efforts of making those videos and coming up with those ideas and making sure it has a performance output that ties in with my physical training and what I'm eating. But do I genuinely think I'll be able to moderate things a little bit more? I don't know. I'm not sure I can. I'm not sure it's in my skill set. So anyway, it's about time you met Otis. This is our new pup. He's a Vizsla and he's my new training partner. He very much wants you to subscribe to the channel, don't you? And like the video. And leave us a comment about what aspect it is of your mind that you think of as a weakness that perhaps may be a bit of a strength for you. And today also marks my last day as a 42-year-old. Tomorrow I'm 43, and I hope my 43rd year is as much fun as my 42nd year. It's been great fun, especially as because it's got you, it's going to be even more fun, isn't it? Yes, it is. And in my 42nd year, I'm still not convinced I've worked out what the question is. See you next week.